Welcome to PiWeb. In this video, we will do an overview of the PiWeb Auto Importer module. We will go over the benefits of using PiWeb Auto Importer, describe the PiWeb import process, and show you an example of how Auto Importer seamlessly imports your measurement data. After installing PiWeb, open the ZEISS Quality Suite. You should find yourself in the tab My Applications. If not, select All Applications in the sidebar on the left, and then My Applications. To launch PiWeb Auto Importer, go to Tools, and select the PiWeb Auto Importer module. Click on Start. The first time you open PiWeb Auto Importer, there is no import plan information. Before we dive in further, let's review some basic definitions on data transfer with PiWeb Auto Importer. Auto Importer gives you the ability to transfer data seamlessly into PiWeb server. Most ZEISS measurement software products, such as Calypso and ZEISS Inspect, can synchronize measurement data directly to PiWeb server, so you don't need Auto Importer. However, third-party measurement software does not always provide a suitable interface for data transfer. Instead, you need to export the measurement data into a PiWeb-compatible file format, such as CSV, DMO, text, etc. Refer to the tech guide to see more import format options. With PiWeb Auto Importer, you can then import these files seamlessly into PiWeb server. The import process starts by placing the exported files with measurement data in the import folder on your device or network. PiWeb Auto Importer is configured to monitor this folder regularly. When a file is placed in the folder, PiWeb Auto Importer analyzes the file type. If it is compatible with PiWeb, the Auto Importer imports the data. If the format is incompatible, the file is moved to a predefined backup error folder. Now, let's look at the steps in PiWeb Auto Importer. To start, click on Create Import Plan. The interface displays the default configuration of a new import plan. On the top, you can rename the import plan. We will name ours Import Plan Test. Under Source, you have to define the import folder. To do that, click on the three dots and select or create a new folder. This folder can be on the local computer or on a network drive. As soon as a file is placed in this folder, PiWeb Auto Importer analyzes it, and after processing, it will be removed from the import folder. If you want to keep a backup of these files, you can set it up in this dialog as well. We will review this option later. I'll keep the default settings for folder structure and synchronization interval. Under Target, you typically define a PiWeb server connection, but for this starter guide video, we will create a new database file to keep things simple. Click on More, Create Database File. We will name it Auto Import Test. Click on Save. The authentication for the example is set to public. Please note that when connecting to a PiWeb server, you need to find out the correct authentication method to properly set this option. If you need to customize the configuration of the file you attempt to import, you can do that under Import Formats, Configure. This section offers a wide variety of options for data mapping configuration, which we won't talk about in this starter guide. For additional information on data mapping, refer to the tech guide in the ZEISS Quality Suite. Under Execution, you can choose between two different modes for executing your import plan. In default mode, the import folder is monitored when the PiWeb Auto Importer application is running. If you close the application, files in the import folder are no longer analyzed and imported. You can also run the import process automatically without the need to have the application running. To run seamlessly, select the Windows Service option. Administrator rights are required to set up this mode option. Clicking on Edit will prompt the administrator login to set this up. The import process will continue even if the application is not open or no user is logged into the system. We will run in default mode for now. Under the Import History section, you have the choice to enable or disable log entries to monitor the import activity. When enabled, the import process monitors the activity of each imported file. You can determine the number of entries collected if necessary. The import folder log is a local file, while the import part log is at the server level. Import files are removed or deleted from the import folder after an import analysis is done. You can create a backup of the imported files by defining a successful import folder. Under the section Backup of Import Files, enable the option by clicking on the checkbox, then click on the three dots for Successful Import to select a folder locally or on a network drive. Files imported successfully will be moved here. Similarly, for files that failed to import for any reason, you can define a backup folder. Under the same section, Backup of Import Files, enable the option with the checkbox, then click on the three dots for Failed Import to define the location for these files after processing. This completes the setup of an import plan. Let's move to the Status section. Here the details of the import plan are summarized for a quick view. You can see the data source, target server, and status of the import process. On the right, we get a quick link to the import folder and access to import history, as well as the full log to diagnose any errors. Under Latest Events, you can see the status of the import and any errors during the import process. For example, let's start the application now. Click on Run to make the import plan active. Notice under Latest Events this action is logged. Our import folder is ready for new files to process. We can review the import process now, using the training files provided for this starter guide. Place the QDB files in the import folder. The import process will take the files, analyzes, and imports them. The QDB files disappear after completion. You can find a backup of the file under the Successful Import folder. To see the files imported, we will go to PiWeb Planner. Open the ZEISS Quality Suite, or if already open, go to My Applications. Under ZEISS PiWeb, go to Products, find PiWeb Planner, and click on Start. On the Start window, you will find the Auto Importer test file under Recent Connections. Select that option. You will see the two parts we just imported using the PiWeb Auto Importer process. Expand the part level to see characteristics. Move to the Measurement tab to see the imported measurement records. If you want to find out more information about measurement records, check out the video Starter Guide for PiWeb Planner, or refer to a more complete PiWeb Basic e-learning. That's it for this brief introduction to PiWeb Auto Importer. We have learned the import process basics and how to create an import plan. We explored some of the options to backup import files and different modes to run the import process through the application or seamlessly as a service. Are you interested in learning more about PiWeb? Check out the starter guide about PiWeb overview again and find out how PiWeb can support in your production process. To book a more comprehensive training, check the PiWeb Basic e-learning. You will find the link in the description.